Thank you.
Did you bring questions?
No, but I know that you had some prepared, and they asked me if I wanted to look at them, and I said no. I'd rather be surprised.
But what about the ones you're going to ask me?
I'm just going to figure them out as we go
Oh,
along.
okay. Is there a format to this?
Am I supposed to go first? I mean,
No, I have no idea. Should we just start asking questions?
You're kidding, right? I don't have questions.
Yes?
Oh, I am supposed to ask you questions.
Yes, did nobody tell you that?
No. Honestly.
Yes, honestly. 15.
No, honestly, I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah. 15 questions? Mm-hmm. You go first.
Okay. You know what we could do is
thinking.
you could just say, you could just say.
I'll just turn them around.
You just turn them around on me.
What was it like working with Gillian?
So David, Mr. Duchovny.
Yes.
When the series first ended.
Which series?
The X-Files. When the X-Files first ended.
There's no way I'm going to have 15 questions. There's no way.
What's the one thing you got to do that you had not been able to do for 9 years? I mean, there may have been more than one, but is there one particular thing that you got to do that you hadn't?
I think I should have looked at these questions before I came here. What did I do? Oh, God, I don't know.
I don't know.
You see, it's a good question for you, isn't it? Why don't you answer that one?
Well, I remember somebody way back then had asked me a similar question, and I think my answer was clean out my purse.
That's a good answer.
Is that a good answer? You can use that.
It's a really good
answer.
answer.
You want to use that?
Clean out
your
Gillian's
wallet?
purse. I just remember this moment. I don't know what I did because I think I forgot how to do anything else. It was the problem. And I just remember looking at the shoes that I was wearing for Mulder, and they were more worn in than my own personal shoes.
Oh, wow.
I was like,
that's really sad.
It was like
glad.
time to stop.
Yeah.
You know?
That's actually quite profound.
I was lying. I did prepare some answers. You know. No, I didn't.
Number 2. Is there one thing in particular that you miss about the series besides me?
Well, took away my answer. Well, it would be you and you know, everybody we worked with. You know, it was that whole family cliche sounds so lame, but well, not really like a family, but we are good friends, and you just work with these people for 8, 9 years, and then all of a sudden you're just not with them anymore, and there's a certain kind of separation.
Are there any of the same people that we worked with that are on Californication?
No, well, no. People come up to me and they'll say, you know, we worked on X-Files, but I don't remember any of them.
Because most of who we saw was a camera crew that was directly around it. You remember those people, don't you?
The camera? I don't remember. I don't remember a camera being there. You know, this makeup too will come and they'll say, you know, they did makeup, and I don't remember anything. And it was for a while that I'd remember episodes. You never remembered episodes.
I don't remember what happened yesterday.
Yeah, and I would remember episodes.
Does Nancy?
Nancy?
Yeah, she remembers she was on the X-Files.
Oh, Nancy, hi.
She works for you now.
No, Nancy's been with me every day since. Yeah. So I don't know if I answered that question.
I think you did.
What have you missed, Gillian?
That's
my second question.
What do I miss? You know what I thought your answer was going to be? I thought your answer was going to be playing Mulder.
Oh,
and,
yeah?
and when I thought about that, I think it might have been the very first time that I ever thought, God, it must have been so cool to play Mulder. I mean, it takes me a while.
Really?
But yeah, believe me, yeah. But
you
it must have been
cool to
so
play
cool.
Mulder?
No, for you, it must have been really cool. He's a cool guy. I just realized that.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. And it's odd, I have to be honest with you. I
Yeah.
never thought what it would be like to play Scully. I never did. I never, but I will think about it now.
Okay.
And I would want your clothes after season 3.
Definitely. That's a very good answer.
But you know what? Probably so-and-so will probably get mad at me now about that. This will somehow
Probably.
get to her.
Yes, it probably
And I
will.
won't be able to go to Canada anymore
Yeah.
again.
No, that's funny. Number 3.
Number 3. But yeah, I like playing Mulder. I did miss playing Mulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
You
why.
got to do some really cool stuff.
Well, so did you.
Yeah, no, but you
You got to
to
cut
be.
things up.
I got to cut things up, which is really cool. But
What-
you got to like
what was that
pose in
line
front
you
of the
used to say?
mirror,
I'm a
half
doctor. I'm a
naked, like
doctor.
pretend like you were. Didn't you? You got to do like
I don't
like.
remember that.
Didn't you do the De Niro thing in the mirror as Mulder? Did he do that?
Yeah.
That's cool. I never got to do that.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess I got to the comedic stuff, but then there were some, like, there were times when you got to be comedic.
Yeah, yes, there were times when I
and
was
you were
extremely funny.
So good. You know,
Glad
you
you
were.
noticed.
No, you were funny. Yeah, you were extremely funny.
Thank you.
You didn't pose enough half naked in front of me.
Yeah. You know, in the pilot, that wasn't even my butt. Is that like public information? Oh,
Well,
I
that's,
just sorry.
That's Mitch Pileggi's book. No, actually, that's true. That's Mitch Pileggi's wife.
His wife? No, it wasn't his wife.
That
yet.
was Arlene.
No, it wasn't Arlene. She
Yeah.
wasn't in the pilot. She wasn't in the pilot.
Yeah, that was Arlene.
That was Arlene's butt. No, she had a nice butt. She had a really nice
I
butt.
know that for a fact.
In the pilot?
That's Mitch Pileggi's butt.
Wait, she was working with us in the pilot?
Yes, ma'am.
But wasn't there somebody in between?
I would know. I was right there.
You were inspecting
I
that
was-
area
I was right
more than
there.
I was. Oh yeah, you were there more than I was because I was somewhere else.
I was right there.
Right. Okay. Do you ever find yourself in a scene as Hank doing something that Mulder would do that is not necessarily in character for Hank? And do you change it, or do you keep it, or do you even care?
Well, you know I don't care. You wouldn't
Yes.
care. You wouldn't care either. But there was a line last year where I was getting ready to go to a trial, my trial, and I was clean shaven and my hair was different, and the writer had written, you know, my girlfriend says, "How do you feel?" And I said, "I look like a fucking FBI agent." You know, so that was like his little homage to.
Aww.
Anyway. But you don't. You know, I guess I used to think of Mulder a lot, but I don't anymore, which is too bad because I would love to, you know, we'd both love to keep doing it until we were in wheelchairs and having a Segway chase, you know? Because it is fun. It is fun when you do something for that
Can
long.
I take this moment? Is anybody writing a script that you know of?
Yeah?
Yeah? Was that a yeah? Or was that a yeah? I am.
I think that's a question for Chris Carter
When he comes
out
later.
here.
Okay. Numero 4.
I'm kind of asking some. I've kind of asked some questions.
Yeah,
haven't
yes,
I?
you have.
All
You've
right.
turned them around. When I'm playing
I've
Hank.
added to them.
When you are out and about in your life,
Yes.
are people more likely to shout Mulder or Hank?
Oh.
Are you cold? Or is that just
my hands?
Okay.
Just my hands. At this point, it's probably the same, but you know, a lot of times you get the charming, "Hey, it's X-Files guy."
Right. Or Scully.
I get Scully
You
a
get
lot.
Scully a lot?
I get, oh, Scully. Do you get Mulder? Probably
Every
not.
once in a while I get Mulder.
I get Scully more than I like to.
And everyone.
There's a jewelry store in New York, Scully and Scully. I passed
Is
that.
there?
Yes, I passed that. And
Why am I saying oh a lot?
but in terms of that, once when we were shooting the X-Files television series downtown
Yeah.
LA,
Yeah.
the bank explosion one, the bank kept
Yeah. I don't remember.
Yes,
I swear to God I don't.
You can't remember a bank exploding?
Oh, the episode going. I'm like, okay, I don't remember a bank explosion. Was I there though? I might not have been there.
You were there. What episodes were you not there?
That's a good question.
I'm
But
the
I
one who
might have
wasn't
been
there
at
for
home in
episodes.
my apartment talking to you while you were watching
No, you were
the
there.
explosion.
You were there, not believing a word I said.
Were you saying, Scully, it's exploding? And I was saying, it's not exploding.
Right.
What are you talking about?
It could have been the sun, but so I was crossing the street to go to the set, and this homeless guy, I assume he's homeless. He had a
Could have just been shopping.
yeah. I don't think he was shopping.
Okay.
So he fell into walking with me, and he's kind of looking at me, and finally he goes, Robert Duchovny. That wasn't the end of it, though. He goes, Robert Duchovny, I love all your series. So, it's just funny. So remember
that guy.
Trevor?
No, the series?
Focus puller,
I
Trevor.
mean, Trevor. Did we do an episode called Trevor?
No.
I'm
We
sorry.
did, didn't we?
Oh, we did?
Yeah. Yeah, we did. No, remember Trevor, focus puller? Trevor?
Yes, I do.
He just wouldn't.
The homeboy.
He was there, and he would not stop calling me Robert Duchovny.
Oh, really?
I prefer it,
I
actually.
like Trevor with the tattoos. He had tattoos, right?
Trevor was good at his job,
I remember that, but I don't remember an episode called Trevor.
Oh, I'll never forget good old what's his name.
How much input do you have on where Hank
None.
goes and what he gets up to?
No, none.
I thought I
None.
took that one out.
None.
None. Okay,
No,
let's
I
move
don't.
on.
I don't get involved in that.
Okay.
How much input do you have with Hank?
What's the most embarrassing / awkward / uncomfortable scene you've had to shoot for Californication?
You know what? I'm going to try to think of that answer for the X-Files first,
Okay.
while you think of it for the X-Files too.
Okay.
Let's both think of it. Let's see if it's the same. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. How about you? What do you got? You got
I
anything?
don't have anything yet. Hang on.
I guess it was awkward when we finally had to kiss after so long.
Yeah, no, I'm sure there's more awkward things than that. It's embarrassing. Awkward. Uncomfortable.
This is right up there. Right
There's got to be like lots of them, right?
there. Yeah.
Think guest stars coming on, anything
Oh yeah.
we did?
Yeah. No.
No?
This is good. This is good.
Can you think of any for
No.
Hank?
No, Hank. No, it's nothing really embarrassing. I mean, I'm beyond embarrassment at this point in my life.
There's got to be something embarrassing from the X-Files. We might have to get back to this one.
Yeah, it's a fine question.
Yeah, I feel like we're really letting people down. Is there an act of kindness someone paid to you somewhere in your life that you will never forget?
Well, that's kind of the germ of the inspiration for the movie House of D that I did was a Latin teacher. Was a Latin teacher who gave me advice when I was in high school, and then I didn't get it yet. And many years later, I kind of got it just in a flash, because he was kind of esoteric. And then I wanted to thank him, but he was dead. So it was kind of like the other shoe dropping many years later. So what that advice was to slow down, which was good advice when you're younger and you don't get it. You don't understand what that means. So, but he said it in a way that wasn't slow down, because I would have gotten that right then, I think. So that was at Mr. Rogers. His name was Mr. Rogers of all things.
I had one of those. I had a Mrs. Babcock who used to visit me in in-house detention. She was my English teacher, and
House detention, you know, is House of D.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
How weird is that?
Yeah.
That's really odd.
Isn't it?
I
thought you were making a joke.
Oh, you did? No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
We were doing poetry, and I'd written some poetry, and she came in to work with me on my poetry, and she inspired me to do better than I was doing at that time. And I'll never forget her.
Good.
But I have a question about the House of D. During the filming of the House of D, how did you approach Robin Williams with his 24/7 comedy to help bring him down to earth?
Yeah, I said, you know, give me like 12/7, not 24/7. First day we were shooting, Robin was asking for more takes and takes and takes, and his wife was on set. And I'd gotten what I wanted, you know, early on, and he would say, one more boss. When he calls me boss, and if you call me boss, I'll give you anything. So he's like, one more boss, one more. And I went to his wife finally, and I said, how do I get Robin to understand that we got it and we have to move on? And she said, have you seen my garage? And I had seen her garage, and there's like 80 bikes in it. So, and Robin's a bicycle enthusiast, so that was kind of, that's Robin. You know,
so is the lesson that you will not, or that you bring him a bicycle so he can like leave?
Yeah, he's like a child. You know, you like have a bike and you bring it like over to the next set, follow it over there. But you know, I think what was great about Robin was he loves to be there. You know, and you and I know that there are times when you don't love to be there, but he always loved to be there, and I appreciate that in an actor now, because there have been, you know, times when I haven't loved being there, and it's no fun for anybody.
And do you love being there now, or do you feel like the percentage that you love to be there is more
greater.
now than
It's
greater than it used to be?
Yeah, yeah.
And is
it
something that you have to work on?
I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah,
how about you?
How about me?
Because I know there were times you didn't love to be there.
Yeah. No, definitely. I still struggle with it. I mean, even in jobs that I am enjoying doing, I still, on a daily basis.
Why does it have to take this long?
Yeah, and also just how hard it is sometimes. You know, just how the particular effort that it takes,
right,
and what it costs.
Yeah.
You know, in some jobs I feel cost more than others, and when they're costing a lot, I think I have to. I actively work on gratitude, because sometimes I'm like, oh,
right,
but I chose it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my choice, and I'm
well put.
I also enjoy it.
Well put.
What's been one of the most difficult of life's lessons?
Oh, well, you probably just touched on it. It's going to seem like I'm
Copycat.
Yeah, copycat. But you know, I think gratitude is a good lesson, always, even if you don't seem to have much at all.
I think for me, it's slowing down.
Oh,
The
look at
lesson
that! Look at that! Mr. Rogers,
it's
Mr.
a
Rogers
constant. Yeah, it's just constant. It's just I think I go through stages that last about a couple weeks. Couple days.
Yeah,
and
of slowing down.
Of slowing down,
Yeah.
and I can't. Yeah, that's my lesson.
Who taught you that? And it wasn't.
Well, I
Mr.
haven't
Rogers.
learned it.
Yeah.
I haven't. I mean, I have sought that lesson, even though I know it and it's in me. I continue to search another way to get there, because I make up that the ways to get there that I already know don't work, but it's just that I'm not practicing them. So,
Right.
it's just a game. It's the game of life, and yeah.
You forgot that we weren't alone.
Yeah, oh, there's people out there listening to our conversation. What's your yoga practice like these days?
Not good.
Okay.
Although I love the yoga. I'm just not in that. I meditate more than do the physical yoga now.
What's your meditation practice, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't mind you asking. It's hard to describe. I mean, it's.
How long is it?
I don't know. I like to get 20 minutes, 25, 30 minutes in.
And is it morning or evening or both? Or when is it? Let me know.
Whenever I can.
So is it sometimes?
What are we talking about? I forgot what we're talking
25
about.
minutes is good. So in your trailer, I was going to ask you.
No, I try to do it at home.
Yeah? Oh, dear. That's good. Good. Yeah, me too.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a fun little run there. You meditate? Gillian, do you meditate? That's a question. I think you do.
Yeah, I go through stage.
Right.
And I'm better for it when I do.
Yeah, sure.
And then
How'd you describe
I
your
forget,
practice?
because I just forget. I forget everything.
Forget everything that's good for you.
Forget anything that's good for me.
Yeah.
It's so weird. And then even when somebody reminds me, and then I forget that I ever did, and I only remember later that I actually used to do that. Does that make sense? It's just it's not age.
Absolutely.
I think part of it is birthing 3 children and losing brain cells. I make that up. That's what it's about.
But Taya says the same thing. I don't buy that.
No men buy that.
Women say that all the time.
No men buy that.
I don't.
I've never met a single man that buys that women lose brain cells when they're.
Well, I mean that implies that you think with your vagina, doesn't it?
Well, you don't lose your vagina. I don't understand what you mean.
So you lose brain cells. I don't know.
No, it's not that. It's because you're giving those proteins to your
That's
memory is protein, and you give those proteins to your babies.
she only played a doctor. Doesn't really have a. This is not science.
I'm gonna get you.
Well, didn't you say that once? I'm a doctor. I cut up things, wasn't that?
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
Well, when did you say that? And where?
Probably in an interview on CNN or something like that. Knowing me.
What kind of? Oh, his name was. What kind of a doctor are you? And you were like,
I cut up things.
I cut up things. Cut upologist.
Yep. Is there something you've been putting off in your life that you would really like to do before you die?
Oh. There's probably many things. There are many skills that I would like to learn that I put off.
Yeah.
Because without slowing down, because if I slow down, I might be able to learn them. Playing guitar, I learned how to ski this past year, and surfing I would like to do more of, and mostly sporty type things that I'd like to do.
Chris learned a lot, didn't he, right after the show? I thought he was going to implode, and he learned how to play the piano and fly a helicopter and play the drums. Is he here? Uh-oh.
Where is he?
He did. He learned, like, everything.
He's the most interesting man in the world.
He is.
He is, and it's fantastic. I'm in awe of his ability to learn things.
I know.
Yeah.
We fail in comparison.
Yeah. We are mere puppets in his world. Anyway.
How often do you work on screenplays, and if so, what's your writing routine? And are there scripts in the work that you hope to direct?
I don't really have a routine. That's a problem. Because writing it, you need a routine.
Yeah.
And I've got a few, and it's just...
A few routines or
no,
a few
I have
scripts?
a few routines, but I have a few scripts, and in the independent world is more difficult now than ever, and they all kind of fall into the independent movie.
Yeah.
Now, didn't you lose a script in a fire?
Yes.
Wow.
I would like to know how you did that. Because you just threw your voice.
That's what I've been working on since the series ended. I've gotten good at it.
That was
Me and Chris Carter, most interesting woman in the world. No.
You didn't?
No,
Why did you lie to me?
I FedExed. Oh, he's funny.
What? What happened?
I FedExed my computer to myself. I left it behind somewhere, and I asked somebody to FedEx it to me, and it never got to me.
Oh.
And I didn't have any backups on a screenplay.
Did you ever find this computer?
No.
Never.
No, and I started from scratch on the screenplay, and then finished it.
Oh.
And then.
Was it very different from the one you had lost, you think?
No, I think it was close.
That must have been a hellish enterprise to have
Yes,
to...
I stopped for a lot. I couldn't touch it for a while, and then I started again. But I've done that. It's something that I've been working on. I mean, I haven't touched it for a couple of years now, but it's something that I get back to every couple of years, and then think that I've solved it, and then show it to somebody, and they say, no, you haven't. And then I get depressed for a while, and I don't touch it for another couple of years, and
then
then try
you
again.
send it to yourself again, and...
I lost it. No.
I like the idea of sending something to yourself. I'm sorry it didn't work out. Why did I think fire? Why did we think fire?
Oh, things we lost in the fire.
Yeah?
Yeah. Weren't you in a movie called Things We Lost in the Fire?
I think so.
Well, maybe that's she was molding the two things together.
No, I don't think so.
Me and you.
I don't think so.
Is there an actor or director that you'd love to work with above anybody else?
No, not above anybody else.
No?
You?
I mean, is there not a director that you think, oh my gosh, before he dies or before
I die?
before you die, you just would have?
I like Paul Thomas Anderson a lot. You know, he doesn't work that much, but I love, each one of his films I think are amazing. And I just think he's a unique writer-director. But there are probably a handful of them that I won't remember or think of right now. How about you?
There are a lot of things that I would have liked to have done before. I wish that I had been on Johnny Carson. I know that doesn't count, but...
Oh, me too.
I really wish I'd been on Johnny Carson.
Yeah, yeah.
And did you ever do Jonathan Ross? Did you ever come into
Yeah,
London and do Jonathan Ross?
Yeah, yeah.
I never got to do Jonathan
Well,
Ross.
I'm
They
sure you
kicked
could
him
do
off. No, they made him leave.
Why?
Because remember that phone message thing
I heard
with Russell
something about
Brand?
it. I heard something about it.
That was a sad day in
Yeah.
British television.
He was funny.
He was really funny.
Yeah. And?
You did Top Gear, didn't you?
Top Gear? What the hell is that?
Did he do Top Gear? Oh, you didn't?
What is Top Gear?
The car? Didn't you come to...
No.
You didn't?
I
Oh.
didn't Top Gear?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I thought you
I
did.
raced a rascal around the park of the Jimmy Kimmel Show.
It's a rascal.
It's a senior citizen.
Oh, you did?
Truth? I
Yeah.
beat Jeff Gordon. He's a big race car driver, and I got a big trophy for it with a rascal on top of it.
No way.
And I think he was pissed.
I bet he was.
But it had nothing to do with my skill. I had the inside lane. Inside lane would always win.
Right.
They go about 2 miles an hour, so it was a funny race.
How frustrating would that be? Did you just want to get out and push?
No, it's fast enough for me, but Jeff Gordon, I think,
Right.
was frustrating.
I'm sure. That must be like you want to slash your wrist if you're Jeff Gordon racing that thing.
I know. I was like trash talking afterwards. Like I said, I don't even know anything about cars, and I just kicked your ass. I'm the king of the rascals. Souped it up. You like cars, right?
I do like cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I do.
But remember when, as Scully, you did some driving.
Yes, I did.
I recall.
One of my favorite lines of yours ever was that line
Your little
about
feet?
my
Yeah.
about my little feet touching the pedals.
That was funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
I seem to remember you. What I remember is when you looked over your shoulder, you looked over this shoulder. You were backing up. When we first got in the car as
Oh,
Mulder and
did I?
Scully, you had to back up, and you were like... and I was thinking, that's really odd.
No,
Because
but
most of the cars are over here.
wasn't that when we were between those two freight things?
No,
and
but
it
that
was
was
about,
fun for you, wasn't it?
That was a lot of
you
fun
did,
for
you
me.
did the you
I
did
got
the stunt.
to drive really
you were
fast.
banging through that. Yeah, no, that was much later. That was.
Oh, okay.
I think.
This was in like traffic. This was serious, like
Oh, I don't know. It was just the fact that you were reversing
Right.
and.
looking over the road.
But you like cars.
Yeah.
I think that's nice. I do.
Pointing
I actually think
out
it's nice.
my shortcomings. Just go ahead.
No, it was unique.
Was your theater experience last year what you expected? And would you do it
I
again?
don't know if I expected it, but it was nerve-wracking to do for me because I'd never done it. I mean, you're very experienced at it, so.
Not very.
No, you are very.
I've done more than you have, but
No,
I'm
you've done
very
a lot.
experienced. I
You've
haven't done a lot. I haven't.
You have.
I haven't.
You have done a lot.
No, I mean the truth of it is I haven't. No, the truth of it is, honestly, I did.
How do you do that? How do you keep doing that? Because I watch and nothing moves here.
I only did a couple in college, and then I did a couple out of college, and then the next thing I did was the West End. It was more like me
Oh, really?
pretending that I could do what I'd never really done.
So it is nerve-wracking, right?
It is
And you would have
nerve-wracking.
done it, in like the home of great theater too.
I know.
You
Like,
know,
what
so-
was I thinking?
Yeah, you kind of have to throw that thinking away to do it. in a
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good for you.
Thank you, and good for you. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Would you do it again?
I would. I think you really have to love the play that you're doing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I like this play a lot. I think I'd like to try a lighter comedy maybe at some point, or even a more dramatic. This was kind of an intellectual play.
Yeah.
Scene.
Were you being courted for? I think you were being courted for the Carnage.
God of Carnage.
God of Carnage.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be a fun play to do. But I also I thought just stepping in
Yeah.
at that point was
I know. I
it's
thought
kind
they
of
came-
thankless,
I know, I
right?
thought the same too. What's
Yeah.
the point?
Yeah. Remember our first read-through of the pilot? Because we were talking about plays, and I just thought of, for some reason.
What did we do it up in? Where did we do
Yeah,
it?
we did it up in Vancouver.
We-
You don't remember?
Oh. It was in the. Was it in that old building? The old
Sutton
studio?
Place. No, it was in Sutton Place.
Oh, was it? No, then I don't remember. No, was it? How did it go?
I don't know. I was going to ask you. That's right.
Were there other characters in it?
I have no
What's his
idea.
name? The guy there?
Who's that?
Remember the guy who'd been he was abducted? Remember that
The
guy?
young guy?
Miles. Billy Miles.
Billy?
That was his name? Billy Miles. Was Billy Miles there?
Billy Miles.
Was the actor who played
That
Billy
was a
Miles
joke.
there?
Don't remember the Billy Miles joke? It was
I
Billy
know-
Miles.
I don't think I ever found it
And that
funny.
was the whole joke.
I
Just
know,
To
I
say
didn't-
it like that was funny for us.
I never found that funny.
He was not there, I don't think.
No?
I think it was just us.
And Chris doing the other voices, the
Yeah,
other characters?
maybe it was Chris. But yeah, I have these very selective, kind of weird, very vivid memories that make no sense of that time. You know, there's flashes of certain things that aren't significant,
Yeah.
like that. Do you have any memories that stand out? Like if I were to say, give me 5 memories from the Vancouver years, being on set, just the first thing that comes to mind.
Us with we got a dead body in front of us. That's a head. No, it's a live. Live. Sorry, I can't do this.
You can ask her. Well, yeah. So,
I got a live body. Okay.
you mean a person?
A living person playing a cadaver
Right.
with his head covered in maggots. And remember, there was one that was really trying to get into his eye socket, and I kept being really codependent and trying to like pick it out from between scenes.
No, that's not codependent. That's just nice. Sometimes you got to draw the line.
I don't know whether it was you or me, because I can't remember these things, but one of us, and I'm sure it was you, because you think you're funnier than I am. But you threw, in the middle of filming, you threw a handful of rice at me.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it was maggots. Remember?
Yeah, I do, but why was there rice there?
I think you asked somebody to get rice, and as they usually did, they went, yes, Mr. Duchovny, and somebody went out and they got it. In fact, I think we were like in the middle of the desert, too.
Maybe it's time to admit that I carry rice with me.
Spontaneous
Just in
marriage.
case there's a wedding.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I think the rice was somehow involved with the maggots. Like they were supposed to look like maggots from far away.
Oh, okay. Like stand-ins?
Exactly.
I'm so funny.
I'm just as surprised as you are.
You're being a straight man.
No, but
Yeah.
I can't see myself sending out for rice.
No, I can't. No, that was purely a joke.
Go ahead.
Just scratch that from the...
Yeah.
Whatever you
And
call
number
it.
2.
Number 2. Oh, shit. I'm sure I've got one.
Yeah.
The scene in the
rain?
pilot with the
The
rain.
rain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that a big one for you, too?
Um,
Oh, my God, the rain. My lips wouldn't move.
Yeah,
It was
you
so
were-
cold.
you were adorable.
I was like this. I had the highest voice in the history of American television.
You were
Oh my
you were trying so hard.
I know, I
And you
was.
were like hypothermic,
I know.
and you were going to stay there until you
And
had
Mulder
to.
and the Billy Mouse and the... I can't watch that scene. It's embarrassing.
No, it was impressive, your steely resolve to get through.
I didn't want to be fired. It was a pilot.
Yeah, and it was raining.
And it was raining. Forced rain.
Yeah, I remember that. And
It was forced
I
rain.
remember you ate the cockroach or a grasshopper or something.
Yeah. Or pretended to, anyway.
The grasshopper.
Cricket.
I'm glad we cleared it up because I wouldn't want the crickets to get mad at me.
They wouldn't want you coming back to
Grasshoppers,
Vancouver.
yeah, no. There's that. And, you think of one more.
I
and I'll
will.
think of
I
one
will.
more.
Such a short period of time. It's got to be.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I mean, for some reason, pilots to probably pilot stuff, but doing that scene where we're in the bedroom and you're on the floor, I'm on the bed.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
that's so poorly acted by me.
By both of us.
Here's the deal. Here's the truth, is we both got a lot better.
Yeah, we did. We got a lot better.
Because I look back on that pilot and I think,
In that introduction scene, that scene where we're,
me and you? Terrible.
how did they
Terrible.
decide to pick up that series? How could any of them have watched the pilot and thought, this is going to be good?
You know, I watch, it'll come on occasionally, well, once every few years, and I'll
You
see.
get that check?
Yeah, I'll see it, and
$2.
I'll go, oh my God,
Yeah.
I am bad.
I had the same thought.
But you know what? What we did have was a willingness, which was nice.
But we were very enthusiastic.
Exactly.
I remember a scene when I was wearing a rust-colored suit.
Yeah.
You remember that? And I was behind. It was the first scene, I think, where I had to give you guys a lot of information, like you and somebody else. I had to you were walking in the room, and I had to swivel around in the chair, and I had to give you a lot of it was the first kind of authority scene that they gave me, and I was so cocky. I didn't know how to have authority without having a little bit of, I know
Attitude.
everything.
Right.
So I took the chair around. I cannot watch that. It just makes me want to puke.
Really?
So much attitude.
It's
I didn't-
interesting to look back on that. It's like home movies in a way. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I was such a snot-nosed brat
Except,
back
guess
then.
what? There were how many million other people watching
Yeah.
at the same time? I was having acting lessons in front of the whole world.
Well, you were learning.
Yeah.
I mean, we're both learning in front of the world and getting paid to do it, and that's something to be grateful for.
It is.
I wish I could burn those episodes.
Do you have any other scenes you remember? Any other
Scenes-
moments? Any
scenes
other
that I remember?
scenes or moments?
So many, you know.
Thinking later on.
And we had some fun.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's so weird to not be able to remember anything.
I know. Do you remember any particular time when we laughed a lot? We
Yeah.
laughed a lot in the movie during that bee scene when the bee was and
Did
we were
we?
trying to get like when we were pretending to like we were gonna kiss and then we had to stop because somebody, probably Chris, was yelling out on the side, "Bee!" You know, like right, we just like get this close and then somebody goes.
Oh, in the hallway.
In the hallway, yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
I do remember this. I was talking to Sackheim,
Yeah.
and I was getting pissed because...
You mean then or recently?
No, then.
Uh-huh.
That scene in the enclosure, no, the enclosure, when we go through, like, the air comes up and...
No, I don't remember that. What happened?
Hi.
What happened?
My name's David. Anyway, it's a scene in the movie.
Oh, okay, I'll just...
Go
okay.
back, when you watch it again, you'll see it.
Dan said what? Watch the movie again? Are we talking about the movie?
The first one,
Oh, the first movie, okay.
the bees.
Dan-
There were
oh,
bees
the
in
bees.
it, right?
Oh, that enclosure.
It's not just me, right? So,
Hi guys, I don't mean to interrupt, but we have Chris Carter here.
it was a good story.
It was a good story.
Bring him up.
Hi. Good to see you.
Just don't, I wouldn't sit on it.
If you put it on the on the back of your belt there. Do you want to? Oh, sorry.
Gillian has some questions for you.
So, in your life, are you likely to be called Hank or Mulder? What happens now? Hang on. Oh, I have to get this one out.
Can I ask
yeah.
one question? Who's
Yeah.
the musical guest?
Who's the musical guest? Chris. He plays the piano and the drums. And I just have to ask this question before we move on.
Well, 'cause I'm going to go. I'm going to leave you two to
I know.
hash it out.
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
How come I've never been offered a guest role in Californication?
Can't afford you.
That's all you have to say. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't. It's going
I
to be
do
hard
it for free, babe.
Oh. Yeah, but I'll hook you up with Runkle. But,
I wouldn't mind that, actually. I wouldn't mind that.
You know, honestly, I don't think we can ever work together aside from what we do.
Wouldn't it be funny if I got to come on as a different character and
Of
then
course
we
you'd
had
be a
to...
different character.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be funny?
So, really? But
Yeah.
I feel like it's
And I hate you. Or I love you. But something
I just
different
feel
than...
like it's wrong. It feels wrong to me. I'm just being honest. I feel like that's a relationship.
That's true.
And, well, not for me to use that word there, but you know, I do feel that way. And so but I'd love to work with you.
You can read for the part.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, yeah, we'll figure something out.
Do you have to
Should
go,
I
or
go?
can you take a couple questions from the... Or do
Oh,
you,
yeah, no, I
yeah,
can
can you
take a
take
couple
it?
We're going to open it up to the audience for a little bit.
How's the bird?
So if you want to start lining up
Oh,
here.
shit.
Ready for our first question? Hey, I think I speak for everyone when I say thank you guys so much for your commitment to charity.
Thank you.
I think it inspires all of us, I know. Hey, Gillian, this is for you. What can you tell us about Miss Havisham? What do you look like? What are you doing? What's the new role like?
Well, how about this? I'm just concerned
Oh, you can't
that
say
David's
anything.
got 15 minutes and then he needs to
No,
leave.
well, I would like to hear about. Are you playing Miss Havisham? I love that character.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So
Wait a
a
minute.
different
In
question.
what?
Maybe answer
What,
that
are you
later.
No,
playing
I can answer
in
that.
a
I just did
film
it. I just did it
series?
for BBC.
Uh-huh.
Great Expectations, and I played Miss Havisham, which is a character who, when we first meet her, well, her heart has been broken 15 years previously because the person that she was meant to marry told her he didn't want to marry her anymore.
You're very young to play Miss Havisham.
Well, we kind of we
Made her younger.
we made her younger, and she kind of ages from when we see her over those 7 years. And so she, from that point on, that her heart got broken, she has not moved on. She is still wearing the wedding dress. 15 years later, she hasn't taken it off. Her house has disintegrated as well, and covered in cobwebs and everything. And the set design was extraordinary. And
she's raising a little girl to break.
And she's raising a young girl to break men's hearts in the same way that her heart was broken, and more. And where's the young lady who asked me the question? I don't have my glasses on, but I didn't mean to, sorry, that was bad. I should have just left it at that. Let me see. She has, I had amazing wigs in various stages, and she has silver white hair. She went basically instantly white under the trauma and the stress of it, and the wigs are extraordinary, and really very simple but very effective. Ivory gown and filthy feet, and it's
You burn up in a fire, right?
and I burned up in the fire. Yeah, we did that.
The old curtains go up, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the old movie. But
No, this one is just her.
Oh, just her?
Just she. And when the
'Cause she's got
stunt
the
double
wedding-
shot it, because I have a veil on, which in the book she raises, but for the sake of the stunt, we didn't. But she caught like that, and the stunt double just went like this from the fireplace, and the veil lifted. You know, like those amaretto biscuits that you light on fire? The veil lifted and started floating straight up into the air in the flames, and she held it for like a count of 15 or something, like caught in. It's going to be good. Yeah.
Got the next question over here.
Is this on? Yeah. Hi, David. We've enjoyed the episodes you've directed in Californication so much. Would you consider directing the finale of the series when it finally comes to an end? Would that be too much?
Sure. I mean, I would direct more of them if I could prep them. I don't know. When I'm acting, I can't prep, so I can only do either the first one or the second one because I can take the week before we start shooting to prep. I would love to. I would love to do more. I love directing. I like trying to direct comedy like that. So I don't think I'd do the finale, but I would love to.
That would be a lot. Can you give us any kind of scoop on season 5? Any kind of anything?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's such not like a plot-driven show. So anything I would say just sounds really unexciting, I think. So, but I guess my character is he's back in Hollywood. Well, I guess the most interesting thing about this year is that it takes place 2.5 years after the last season. So I thought that was an interesting move by Tom Campanos, the showrunner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question over
Very
here.
disappointing answer, I know. I wear a white veil, and
You go up in flames. This is for Gillian. I just wanted to say, through your example, I feel like you've given me like a much more global kind of perspective on the world. And through your charity work and your acting work, it seems like you've pretty much traveled everywhere. Is there a country that you haven't been to yet that you'd really like to work in or to visit, or?
I actually haven't really traveled that much for work. What was that?
I thought there was something on me. That's my That's what it sounds like.
Okay. I haven't actually traveled that much for work. Is there a country that I haven't been to that I'd like to go to?
Yeah.
I think I'd like to go to Vietnam and Laos and Cambodia. I think I'd like to really make that trip someday. Yeah, but thank you.
Sure. Got a next question over here. This is for David and Gillian. If you had to spend the rest of your life living as one of the characters you've played, who would it be and why?
That's a good question. I play women who commit suicide, so no thanks.
Well, I mean, it would have to be Mulder, I think. You know, that'd be.
I think it would have to be Scully.
Not to pander to the crowd, but.
Next question over here.
Hi. This is for all of you. On the X-Files, what was the most challenging scene that you guys had to do that stands out as dangerous, or just something that was really challenging in terms of filming that you thought, to this day, you still sort of think about, wow, I actually filmed that and it got done and it looks really good?
I'm sure you got a lot from a producerial point of view.
Well, of course, my answer is going to be different than yours because my job is to.
Yeah.
Although I did cast myself in an episode.
That was challenging.
Agent and other agents.
No, was that challenging?
Julie remembers how challenging that was.
Well, you were, I don't think I worked with you.
No, you didn't work.
Yeah.
Although you cast me as an extra in your one of your episodes. Your
Oh,
last
okay.
episode you directed.
Did you speak? You didn't speak.
No, I didn't.
I still love your name of that character, Agent, another agent.
Agent, another agent.
I don't know. What was the most difficult?
I mean, that pilot scene keeps coming to mind, but that's crazy after all the things we did. There must have been. I guess for me, that just, I have, sometimes memories of, many pages of monologues about all the brilliant things that I knew about. And just having to memorize those the night before after a 16-hour day. I think that actually getting the information out as if I knew what I was talking about. And I think there were a few of those. I know there were a few of those.
I was just talking to you the other day about what stands out to me is that episode where I had to lie under the bed of leaves.
Oh, right, and your dad.
My dad was visiting Vancouver, and somebody will probably figure out what the episode was, but it was like it had to do with the Russians, and they had Tunguska or something like that?
Right.
Right, one of those.
Terma, she knows.
It's Terma, yeah.
It's the second part of Terma.
They know better than you, I'm telling you. And so I'm lying under a bed of leaves, and you had written Mulder in this episode as very, like, not James Bond, but mountain man, able to survive on. So the rain was falling down, and I was drinking, I was hiding, because I was under a bed of leaves, because I was hiding. But I was also starving.
Were you hiding?
Huh?
You were hiding.
I was hiding. And I took like a leaf, made a straw out of it in a way, and
In the scene, or just for your own edification in between?
No,
okay.
in the scene. That was the idea. And it was freezing. It was freezing cold, and it was in the GVRD, and my dad watched a little of it, and then he went back to the trailer, which was warm. And I came back to the trailer, and I had 4 layers of underwear on and all the thermals, and he just looked at me and said, "This is not a good job."
Didn't you have to do a scene where you had those things pinching your skin back or something? How much of that was real and how much of that was CGI?
It was all real, but here's the deal.
Yeah. And you were naked.
Yes.
Yes.
The worst for us was the aging one. That was horrible.
Oh, that was horrible. Hated that, yeah. Yeah, I won't do movies where I have to wear prosthetics anymore.
Because after 6 hours, it begins to itch. But I remember we were so miserable. We were so miserable. Both of us.
We were babies. I mean, people do that for like whole movie. Look at the Avengers or that blue woman with the. I mean, she had to, like, I just worked with a makeup artist who did her 15 hours of makeup just to get into that, and what, she can work for an hour and then you have to take it off again.
I bet. Remember when we had the whole stage with the iced.
Yeah.
And I think
submarine.
that was the biggest.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
That was a big deal.
Yeah.
At the time, especially.
Actually, I have a memory, two memories of you. This is the craziness and the naivete in the early part of the show. One of them is you standing on top of the tram.
Oh, I remember, yeah.
In the second season,
Yeah.
doing your own stunt.
Yeah.
And the other one is the episode Fire, where we somehow.
Oh, you burned me.
It was. We actually burned David
Yeah.
and put him right into the fire scene. It
Yeah.
was.
That's true. You'll be hearing from my lawyer.
It was.
I remember the fire, and I remember I was really happy to be on that tram. It was kind of fun and I trusted that I wouldn't be dropped.
Yeah.
You trust that you're not going to be dropped. It may be silly,
Yeah.
but you just figure, they probably don't want to be dropped.
They didn't know how valuable you were.
Well, I hadn't been there long enough to really piss anybody off. I was really in the show.
All right, we got a new question over here. This one's for Chris.
On shows like X-Files or Lost that have very big, complicated mythologies, you sometimes find that the writers and writing can get lost in the story over time, lose their focus. Looking back over all the seasons of X-Files, where it started and where it ended, is there anything, given the opportunity, that you would do differently?
Yeah, I'm asked this question, and it's really hard to say yes, because at some point the mythology started telling itself, and all the threads sort of start weaving together in sort of like unexpected ways. So would I do anything different? There's one thing I would do different, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
I'm remembering now.
Do you know what it is?
I have no fucking idea. But what's interesting to me, and I don't know if you'd ever planned it this way, but it was really your pregnancy that started us off on the mythology. And I don't
Whether
know.
he planned it? I have an idea. You think you could do something about that? Okay.
Yes, there's a guy.
This guy who works on the X-Files.
No, but
I'll pay you $500,000.
No, but honestly, had you thought about bringing it into that area at all?
No, I mean
It was going to be standalone, standalone, standalone forever.
Well, the mythology was really set up in Deep Throat and Erlenmeyer Flats in that season, and so there was a trail we were following, but the pregnancy actually gave it direction.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So well done.
Thank you. It's a great idea.
Next question.
I remember when I heard you were pregnant.
I remember telling you.
Yeah.
I remember you told me that your knees went out. Do you remember that Blue had just gotten her shots? She was lying on the bed in your trailer.
Uh-huh. No, I
And
don't
Blue
remember
had
any of this.
just gotten her her shots. Had been neutered.
Yeah, well, something like that. But she was, you were, it was quite a moment.
It was.
Yeah.
I don't think I realized what the moment. I didn't realize at the time.
No.
How quite that moment was.
I don't remember what I said.
Yeah, it was a big quite.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
David got into this a little bit during the end of your sort of duo discussion, but I wanted to know if the two of you could play any other classic duo. It doesn't have to be from TV. It could be from like literature or film or anything like that.
You got a good idea?
Thin Man's Ears.
Who would you all be? And for Chris, if you could write something else for them that was different than what you'd written before, how would you want that to look?
Oh, it would have to be Ricky and Lucy.
What a great idea! that an insult?
Depends on who he sees as who.
It doesn't have to be the typical male-female pair.
I don't know. Tin Man was a good idea. You're going to have to be satisfied with 2 out of 3. Sorry. I gotta go. All right. Thank you. Come by later? Yeah. All right. If you want, come by the parlor for us.
Okay.
I'll leave the info with.
Yeah, if you would, that'd be great. Thank you. Should we just continue with the audience questions, you think?
I'll answer David's.
I have a question.
No, go ahead.
Who's the favorite actor you ever worked with?
You know, there was this young guy in like the early 90s. He used to be really cute. And all I remember about him was this red Speedo. I think his name was Robert Robert D.
The brain cell thing is true.
Thank you.
It is, absolutely. More kids, you lose more.
Thank you.
And you asked lots of my questions. So, this is for both of you. I would work for, fill in the blank, I would work for free to get a chance to work with.
I know my answer.
Why don't you go ahead?
I know my answer. Paris Hilton.
Are you serious?
Do you want me to pick a different question?
Meryl Streep.
And really, who?
Okay, next question.
Hi.
Hi, I recognize you.
Yeah, from the other hotel. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Like, anyway. At the end of. Thank you. At the end of season 7, you had said on David Letterman's show that when it was up in the air whether there would be a season 8 or not, that the show was written filmed 2 ways, and at the end of the show you said you were pregnant, but if it was to end at season 7, I was wondering what that way would be that it would end. So the alternate ending. So.
I wish I had a recollection of what that was. You know, it's funny because the show could have ended, but the network was not going to end the show, and it only ended in season 9, I think, because the mood of the country had changed so much, and the ratings had sort of gone down because no one was interested in conspiracy theories anymore. So I think it ended when it needed to end, and I don't remember it ever being threatened at the end of season 7, but you're probably right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We got a new question over here.
Yeah, hi. This is kind of a 2-part question. For Chris, as a creative person, looking at the state of Hollywood right now in terms of remakes and reboots and all of the classics that are sort of being remade right now, what are your thoughts on, 20 years from now, seeing someone else take your property and remaking that or rebooting it? And then for Gillian, how would you feel in 20 years seeing someone else playing the role that you made famous?
I'd be jealous. I might have to kill him. Don't you think so?
Yeah. it'd be very strange. That's not a good answer. But I have no doubt that at some point, whether or not it gets done, that question will be in a room. That question will be put forward. I don't know. It's weird. You have. I imagine it, I can't imagine it being a series. We did 202 episodes, and even though I thought 201 and the pilot.
Oh, was 201 not including the pilot?
No, 201 not including.
Oh, did not know.
But and even though we always said we'd never run out of stories. I mean, it would be hard for someone to come back and reboot that television show. If anything, it would be a movie, I think.
We have another question over here.
Hi, I'm Jenna. I just want to let you know I've watched this series since I was in junior high, and my friend Evan and I would chat about the episodes we saw the night before. The host scared the crap out of me as a child. The fluke monster, I was afraid it was going to come out of the bathtub or something, and come after me. And it gave me nightmares. I love the two-parter Dwayne Barry episode and the episode with Giovanni Ribisi and Jack Black. My question has nothing to do with the series, really. It has to do with the movie, the first movie. My friend Jody and Jody's from Darwin, Australia, and she couldn't make it. So she asked me to ask this question to you guys and to David, but David couldn't stay. So about the alternative B scene, which is on the Fight the Future Blu-ray. Was that the way that scene was originally planned, without the kiss being interrupted by the bee? Or was it just Gillian and David, and was it just you and David mucking around?
What is the alternative B scene? What is the alternative B scene? What? What, with the bees around us? Oh, that scene. Oh, I thought you meant in the door. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I really apologize. What was the question? Was that how it was supposed to end?
It's been a long night.
Is that somewhere?
It was always supposed to be.
Is that on the Blu-ray thing?
Yeah, because you guys were monkeying around.
Yeah, we were, but was that sanctioned to be put on a Blu-ray thing? Did I say yes that could be put on a Blu-ray thing?
You must have.
Wow.
I guess the question was it originally planned?
It wasn't planned. No, it was just goofing around.
I have to say, when you said you watched it in junior high, it's like that. First of all, that's a frightening thing to do.
Yes, that's why it gave me nightmares.
Not that frightening in that way, but just.
I was afraid it was going to come out like.
It's a long time ago. I have to tell you, I was on a trip recently, and it was a surf trip, and one of the surf guides, this young guy, good surfer, he comes up to me and he says, someone just told me you are the X-Files guy. Yeah. And he says, my mom would just be crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
What, Hutchinson?
Doug Hutchinson.
I have a 16-year-old. Wow.
All right, we got another question over here.
My question was originally for David, but maybe Gillian, you could answer this. Do you remember?
How is she doing?
We're old. We're so old.
I was already of drinking age by the time the X-Files aired, so
Me
don't
too.
feel so bad. This question was for David, but maybe Gillian, you could answer it. Do you remember anything from The Break of Noon?
The Break of Noon?
Seeing David in his play, any plot?
Sorry, can you just move a tiny bit closer to the mic?
Do you remember any specifics from The Break of Noon?
Oh, David's play. Oh, I thought, which episode was that? Do I remember anything specific about it?
Yeah. Because the question was for him, but if that's not going to work, I can try to turn it around for you. It's about darkness of characters and how characters are unlikable. And his character throughout the play, I think Neil LaBute wrote him to be unlikable.
He writes all of his male characters.
That's LaBute. So I guess maybe we could use it for you in closure. Do you find it a struggle to find the love in that character, to make them likable so the audience...
You mean when I play unlikable characters?
Yeah.
I don't. If it's a struggle, then I don't say yes to the role. If it's I need to find something that I can connect with in some way upon the reading of the script before I'll say yes to something. So I guess in a way that's finding something that I can identify with or that I can enjoy. I mean, playing Miss Havisham, what her motivation and her modus operandi is so unlikable, and yet I really grew to like her a lot. And so I guess, yeah, I do, and if I didn't, I wouldn't. If that makes sense.
Great, thank you.
Okay, next question over here.
But in working with, I'm sorry, in Last King of Scotland, Forrest Whitaker found he got himself to a place where he, honest to goodness, believed that that his character was doing the right thing. You know, that he believed as his character that he was doing the right thing and that he wasn't such a bad guy. And that's quite extraordinary. You know, that we as human beings can do that in order to do the needful and do our job, you know, that we can, yeah.
Hi, my name is Valerie. Very first time I watched X-Files, I was 9. I think it was the Fight the Future movie, and then I faithfully started watching it when I was about 11, season 8. And my question was, is there any X-Files 3 movie in the works?
What a surprise question.
There's been a lot of talk about it, not to the people who you need to talk to in the end, but certainly a lot of discussion.
Yes. Chris, 2012 is coming up.
Wait, so what would it take? Is it a matter of like convincing Fox that it's a good enough idea to put money behind it?
Yes.
Okay, well, what can we do about that? I mean, no, I mean not like, you know, not hold them hostage. But can we not start like a serious worldwide petition? I mean, why not, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if we got it together in time for, it could still come out at the end of 2012 if we got it together quickly.
Exactly.
Is there enough of is it germinated enough that it would be quite easy to put it on paper were somebody to say go, or?
It's getting there.
Ah. Pretty good.
Don't give up.
No, that's not how it goes. Isn't it never give up? Oh. It's 3 babies.
All right, we have the...
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, thank you. We have a next question over here.
Hi, hello. Excuse my English. I'm Spanish. Okay. I wanted to ask you how you feel knowing that after so many years since the show finished, you can still move so many people and get so many people together. every year more and more fans of the X-Files. So I wanted to know how you feel knowing that you've got like so many people here from all over the world. There's a lady there from England. She came from England just for this. There's people from Canada and from all over the country. And there's 2 friends of me and myself coming from Spain just to see you guys today. So how do you feel about that?
I'm completely blown away. I'm blown away that I could actually come into this room and there are 200 people, they tell me, looking up here. The show's been off the air for 10 years. It's astounding. I mean, it really, and I think it really is a testament to Mulder and Scully and David and Gillian. No matter what they say, I think the pilot was...
Were you here for that?
Yeah, I heard that. I have to tell you a story that we did this, the network does this marketing test, and it's with an audience, and you look at them through a glass window, and you see them, they turn little dials when they like something, and they turn the dial down when they don't like something. You see this graph on a television screen, and you sort of, I was nervous. It's like it would go up. They like that. Oh, they don't like that. Oh, they like that. Oh, they don't like that. And every time my heart would sink when there'd be a valley and there'd be a peak, and all of a sudden, at some point, I realized, it can't just keep going up. They can't like everything. It's life is peaks and valleys, and that was a very informative thing. But anyway, afterwards, they have a question and answer session, and I just remember there was this guy, and he raised his hand, and they said, "Did you like the pilot?" And he says, "I thought it was perfect." And it's like at some point, that's the point. All the hard work you've put into it, it struck a chord with somebody, and obviously it struck a chord with many people.
We have another question over here.
Okay. Hi. So my question was taken about the movie, but so I thought of another one really quick. And season 9, I always wondered this. I've been watching since I was 8, and literally since like the very first episode.
Are you 13 now?
No, I'm 25 years old actually. Yeah, I know.
75.
25. I know. I get it all the time. It makes me want to cry, but okay. So. No, I gotta think. Okay, so why did you get rid of the baby in season 9? William, why did you write him out of the script? Because that, like, broke my heart.
It was supposed to break your heart.
Well, what else are we going to do? If we end up doing movies, we're going to have a 14-year-old hanging out in a hole waiting for us to get back from being abducted by aliens?
I have to say that we imagine that as part of the ongoing mythology.
See, I thought it would be cool to have him come back in the 3rd movie.
Yeah.
Somehow.
That's been discussed.
All right. Okay.
He'll be 25.
Hey, no, I was like 17, so yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Got another question over here.
How old would he be? Sorry, let me just...
Young teens, yeah. Or 11, or 12. Young.
William, right?
William. I had the baby, not Jill.
William Mulder, that sounds weird.
I won't go into it.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Mike. I've been an X-Files fan since the day it started, and I've always wanted to say my hat's off to you and the rest of the cast for the most professional acting I've ever seen on TV. And I was sad to see it leave on TV. And I will say, Gillian, that I did enjoy the smile you did on that Bad Blood episode when you smiled at the cop. It was cute. I loved it. And Chris, for the X-Files movie 3, do you know what it would consist of for the movie?
What?
What would it be in the movie? What would you do different in the movie on X-Files 3?
I think it would be a mythology movie, so... You know, and as someone said, this date coming up, 2012, December 21st, that sounds like a good release date to me.
This is sexy.
Okay, next question.
It is.
Hello, this is a question to Chris. I've been an X-Files fan and also a Millennium fan. So there were rumors running about that there would be a Millennium movie. I don't know if there were any talks or was it ever discussed before?
There's this Millennium fan group that had created this big campaign to bring Millennium back as a movie. And we actually had a conversation with Lance Henriksen that was done as a podcast. I don't know if that would ever happen, and I can't imagine it happening on the big screen, but I think that there's a possibility it could be done for the small screen. Frank Black would be
older
than yeah, so it would have to be rethought.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have another question over here.
Hello. Thank you both for being here. It's wonderful to see both of you here and with David. It's just awesome. I have a question for you, Gillian. I'm so excited for Great Expectations. I can't even begin to tell you. It's one of my favorites, and I can't wait to see what you do with the character. That brings me to Helena Bonham Carter also being cast in a rival production. I'd like to know what you...
Not rival.
No, not rival. A different production. I'd like to know what you think you would bring differently, what kind of energies you both bring, and how you would differ.
Me.
Well, I mean, your take on it, how that would be.
You know, I have no idea. I mean, I've already done it, so I know what I've done. And I can't guess what she will choose to do. I mean, I really enjoyed her Queen and Alice in Wonderland. That surprised me. The way that she did it, that came out of her surprised me, and not in like I didn't expect it of her, but I thought she did. It was really well done. So I'm expecting to be equally surprised in a pleasant way by what she does for her. And I'm interested to see, you know, how differently she looks, what their concept is, what the similarities and the differences are, and how much better mine is than
I don't think anyone here would disagree. So.
People don't know that we're related, Helena and I.
Oh, really? Distant cousins, right?
So gullible. I am so gullible. You get me every single time.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Next question over here.
Hi, I'm Taylor Felicity, and even though X-Files didn't come out when I was born yet, but it's still been a huge part of my life. And my question is for Gillian Anderson. If you could go back in time, knowing what you know right now, and give your old self some advice, what would it be?
My old self in life or my old self as Scully?
Your old self, like Gillian
Me.
Anderson. Yes.
To not worry so much, to trust more, to trust life and how life unfolds, and I think so. There was also, I've been asked this before, and I really like my previous answer, and I can't remember what it was. But I love that saying, youth is wasted on the young, because my experience is that I appreciate, and I think we all do to a certain degree, how precious life is the older we get. Also, the more we see people around us passing. And I guess, you know, I think, I don't know why, but when I was younger, I didn't realize the choices that I had. I don't know whether it was because in the particular household that I was raised, but it didn't occur to me that I could sit back, and because I was, you know, living in America, a white person in America, middle class, the opportunities are so humongous compared to so many other people in the world. And I wished that someone at that time had said to me, you are so lucky. And take a moment and sit back and have a thought about what you really want to do, what you really want your life to look like, you know. And I also wish that I hadn't followed relationships so much in my life. I don't know how many times as a young person I followed the guy, what he wanted to do, you know, and if I had any advice for young women, it's just, you know, stop. You know, just decide what it is that you, even in a day, or whatever, just decide what it is that you want to do in your life and do everything you can to make that happen.
That's funny because I'd have the opposite advice.
I think women have a tendency to follow men a lot more.
Thank you.
All right, we got one more over here. Hi. I was just wondering if you are horrified or if you think it's funny that the adult industry was inspired to make
That the what
X-Files.
industry? Yeah.
The adult
was inspired.
To make X-Files.
Parody.
They have? They have?
Two
Why
of
did I
them.
know that? 2 of them? I need to get me some of that. Well, who plays Scully? Is she good? Has anybody seen it? Come on, admit it. Yes? Who plays Scully? It's horrible?
The girl's not terrible, the guy is terrible.
Oh, that's really disappointing. Let's start a petition. Cast our own Mulder and Scully porn stars and get that movie made. 2012. It can be the what airs after the premiere, like the late night porn version. Oh, what do we do? The porn version of X-Files 3. That's it. With William. No, maybe not. I'm sorry. I just think I went overboard. Over there. Sorry. You just got it, didn't you? Okay.
It takes me a while.
Okay. Okay. All right.
And we have one final question over here.
This may seem very inappropriate given the...
Oh, believe me.
What is the most influential either comment or maybe action your parents have taught you that you've taken into both your professional and personal lives?
My dad told me not to be an actor. He told me that I should learn word processing instead, because then I'd have a career. This is before computers, really, because I'm that old. But it was actually really good advice that he gave me, because I could have actually made some money and paid my rent when I was in college if I had learned word processing. But my brain doesn't really work that way. I'll think of a positive one if you want.
I did become a word processor.
And everything else in the world, apparently.
I remember my dad and mom said to me, just really good advice. You don't know what a hard day's work is. And it stuck with me because I thought that was true, that, you know, here are these two people who really slaved, and my dad was a construction worker and my mom was a housewife, and they worked really hard. My mom scrubbed the floor. She was Dutch, and her name was Mulder. And she kept that house spick and span, and she kept it running. And my dad worked day and night, and I think that sort of admonition about hard work really paid off.
Mm.
He also made me sit on a manhole cover when I... This is a story.
No, go ahead. You started it.
I've told this story to people, but I was late home for dinner one night when I was a kid, and my dad was so angry at me that he took me into the street with my plate of food, and he made me sit on a manhole cover when the cars went around. And you wonder where the X-Files came from.
Is that true?
It's true.
Wow.
Okay, guys, that is actually the last question. We want to say thank you to Gillian Anderson and Chris Carter.